Oh, I can just see her, so beautiful and sweet.
Hi everybody, I hope everyone's doing well. Well, today it is November 13th, 2024, and I'm here to do a little bit of an after therapy talk for you guys. I just got out of therapy. And then also I want to talk about my lack of weigh-in. I had said in my recent video that I was going to weigh in and I would come back. So I'm going to combine these two things here and I'm going to explain why I didn't weigh in. All right, so let's get into the after therapy portion of it. Typically I have my therapy sessions on Wednesdays, which today is Wednesday, but I have them at 2. I'm sorry, I have it at 1, but I get out around 2:15 sometimes, depending on the intensity of the therapy session. I can get out at 2:15. And today I had it at 11. My therapist had called me, or not called me, texted me on Sunday and said, hey, can we do it at 11? And I was like, yes. I actually prefer it at 11. I kind of wish they were at 11, and two reasons why. One, because sometimes they are so intense and I cry and it just gets really emotional and it just takes me a long time or some time to come down from it when I have to go pick up my son from school. And so sometimes I'm still sort of in that emotional state. The other reason why too is like when I do these after therapy talks, when I have come on here, I feel rushed to do them. And so with it being getting out at 12, I don't feel as rushed. That's neither here nor there. It is early and I like it. All right, let's go on into the after therapy. I'm going to touch on this really briefly. I'm not going to give too much detail because I'll link a video right here where I've been gone from YouTube for about 2 months and then I came back and I kind of gave you an update on my marriage, on my online selling, and on my weight. Now, these main three things that I do bring onto YouTube are really important to me and they impact my stress, I guess you could say, or you could see, you know, the amount of stress is impacted by these three things. And so I had said that I was going to make a video on each of these subjects separately, and I still do plan to do that. The reason why the online selling, I'm a reseller, and the reason why I want to talk about that is because it's very important to me, okay? It's something that I'm passionate about. It's something that I want to do something with. And I've been selling since 2008 as a reseller. But it's my emotional well-being or the amount of stress in my life has greatly impacted that. And so I want to talk about it in that way. I don't want to talk about how to sell or anything like that or what I'm doing different to sell. I might touch a little bit on those differences because of why they're different, you know, for me. So that's why I want to do a video on my online selling. My marriage, well, that goes without saying. That's something big in my life. It's something that's changed in my life. And inevitably it affects, all these things affect the number on a scale. And so that's why I want to do these videos separately for you guys. And I will. All right. With that said, let's go ahead and talk about the actual after therapy talk. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know here right now the word, if you will, what I'm going to tell you, the word has helped me to get to where I'm at today. Okay? What has really impacted my life. And it's going to be summed up in a word. Okay? And I'm going to talk about that right now. I was going to wait to talk about it when I made the other videos. But I'm going to touch on it right now because it's what I talked about in therapy today. It's been the subject of my therapy. And it's what's helping me to really heal that in 24 years, what I've gone through. Okay? And why I've been able to heal. And I guess in a way, it's what seems like it's like happening like quickly now, it seems like. But I think it's because of what I'm going to tell you. So for my marriage, let me reiterate here. I've been married 24 years, separated since March, and been in therapy since April. And for the most part, when it comes to my marriage in particular, it's really been about understanding him. Okay, for the most part, it's been about understanding him, the issue that he has. This issue, what caused such a dysfunction in my marriage, happened the day I got married. And now I know why. Now it all makes sense. And there is an actual causation of it. You know, there is a name, there is an issue. And so my therapy has been about understanding that. I needed to understand that. I really, really did, because it, in a way, it validated, you know, that I had been dealing with some things. Okay. One of the things recently my therapist has done is she had me read an article. I don't know if it's like a journal or something, but an article in which this is talked about. And wow, it was like reading the article by this doctor was like reading my life, really. The other thing is I watched a video where the doctor was explaining this, but the impact on the other person. And that's when really things started to change for me, because now I knew, and not that my therapist, you know, she's amazing. She's been a marriage therapist for many, many years until she stopped, you know, dealing with couples, and then she's dealing more on an individual basis. But her knowledge of this was amazing, and she actually was the one who said, you know what, you're dealing with this. This is a real thing. And you know, she never seen my husband. She never seen my husband as a patient, never met him or nothing. But she really said, you know what, this is what you're dealing with. And it's not easy, and it's a real thing. But after reading these articles and reading and seeing the video where the doctors talked about this and how it impacts another person, it was me. And so basically, so today in therapy, what the word is, or the phrase, it's not personal. It's not personal. My therapist had told me, and I mentioned in a video where I've mentioned before, where I would say things like, you know, it's no one's fault. You know, this is what my therapist is saying. And recently she would tell me things like, you know, about the plate and not leaving it on my plate. And remember I talked about that, you know, how I would just kind of take things, what people think about me, and I just kind of lay it on my plate. Well, in my marriage, part of it was, don't take it personal. Don't put it on your plate, because it's not. But I would always, you know, retort back to her going, well, how is it not personal? It's my marriage. It's 24 years of what I have gone through. And so to get to this place where I can say, you know, it wasn't personal. This could have been me. This could have been anybody sitting here. But that doesn't mean that whatever I've gone through and all this for 24 years has absolutely impacted my self-esteem, the way I felt about myself, the way I thought about myself, and all these things, which I will talk about in a different video. But yeah, to not take it personal really has impacted my ability to move on. So yeah, just to give you guys a little bit of an insight and of an update. That's a big one. And I was going to not say it here, but I was going to wait till I made that video. But yeah, no, I'm telling you now, this is what we talked about in therapy, is I had to get to this place of, it's not personal. Oh, that was hard, you guys, you know, but anyway, here I am. Let's go ahead and talk about my weigh-in. Okay, so I'm going to put another link of a video here that I did on November 8th, where I talk about that I was going to regain my weight loss here. I was going to start coming back doing some weight loss videos, right? And I thought about waiting a little bit until my online, the things that I'm doing online, my reselling, I'm going through my old inventory, things that are already on, and I was going to give myself about another week. And I had talked about why, because I had boxes and boxes over here, which you could see, it's a lot more different. I've been working real hard. And anyway, I mentioned in that video on November 8th that nope, I'm not going to wait anymore, that I'm going to regain my weight loss. I feel like things are starting to settle in, starting to less stress in my life, and I'm hoping that the stresses go down. The scale on the number goes down, but I gotta be re-engaged in order for that to happen. And I talked about what I was doing and things that habits I picked up in that video. So I encourage you to watch that. So this is what I weighed on Friday, November 8th, was 183. Pretty high. But I talked about why I think all that inflammation is in that video. So I also mentioned that I was going to weigh myself on November 10th. because that's when I weigh myself, typically Sunday to Sunday. So I was going to weigh on the 10th, and then I was going to come back. I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. All right. So I mentioned that I was going to weigh myself on November 10th, and I would come back and do a video. Well, I didn't weigh myself. And the reason why is I mentioned that I was going to have my grandbaby on Saturday. Okay. And I did. I had my grandbaby. She stayed with me all day. And then when it came to the evening, I gave her her bath and she started crying on me. She says, Grandma, I want to stay one more day, Grandma. And so anyway, we called her parents. And so she ended up staying the night with me, which was nice. It was really, really nice. But as far as my ketovore diet, you guys, I've been doing it. I have not had any Starbucks. I have not had any, well, in the video, if you watch the video, I talked about the habits I was doing. So I haven't had any Starbucks. I haven't had any salads or anything that causes me to bloat from the oxalates or the lectins that are in the vegetables and things. So I haven't had any of that. And I have not gone out to eat. So I'm doing it. I'm back on it. My carb intake has been about, I would say 15 grams or less. I'm going to start recording that. I should start recording that. I use Carb Genius is where I input all my food. But I only do it for the carbs to see where I'm at. Maybe I'll start doing that. And the protein too. That was another thing too. The protein for me is very, very important. I want to be at 120 grams of protein a day. It's still very hard for me to get that in, but I should start tracking so that I can see where I'm at with that too. So that would be another thing probably I'm going to start tracking. But anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you. I didn't weigh in, so I'll weigh in next Sunday and I'll come back for sure. Anyways, my friends, that is it. That is everything. I'll let you guys go. I'll try to keep this really, really short. So I'm doing good, you guys. I'm doing good. And look out for those videos. I'll start making those. All right, my friends, that's it. I'll let you guys go. I'll be back really, really soon.